Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you're looking to get into XRP in 2025? Well, you've come to the right place. We are going to break down the entire roadmap, from buying your very first XRP and keeping it safe, all the way to earning a little something on it. And, this is the fun part, minting your own NFTs on xrp.cafe. Doesn't matter if you're a total beginner or just want to know more about the XRP ledger, this is your complete guide.
Okay, so here's the plan. First, we'll cover what XRP actually is, then how to buy and secure it. After that, we'll look at earning yield. Then comes the creative part, minting NFTs on xrp.cafe. And we'll finish up with some essential strategy and safety tips. Let's jump in.
All right, first things first, we got to build a solid foundation, right? Before we get into all the cool stuff, let's nail down what XRP actually is and, what makes it stand out from everything else out there.
So, at its heart, XRP is the main currency of something called the XRP ledger, or XRPL for short. And this whole system was built for one thing, really: efficiency. I mean, we're talking lightning-fast transactions that settle in like 3 to 5 seconds. And the cost? It's basically nothing, a tiny, tiny fraction of a penny. Okay, so how does it all stay secure? This is where things get really interesting. See, a lot of other cryptos use something called proof of stake, but the XRP ledger, it does its own thing. It uses a unique consensus system where a bunch of trusted servers have to agree that a transaction is legit. And that's a huge reason why it's so incredibly fast and cheap, no complicated staking required.
And here's another big piece of the puzzle, especially looking ahead: regulatory clarity. You've probably heard about the legal battles with the company Ripple. Well, after all that, there's a much clearer picture of where XRP stands legally, at least in some key places. And for a lot of people, that clarity means a more stable, predictable foundation to work with.
Okay, theory's done. Let's get our hands dirty. Now we're going to cover the practical stuff, how to actually get some XRP, and this is super important, how to keep it safe. Honestly, buying XRP is super simple. First step, pick a good, regulated exchange. Think places like Kraken or Coinbase. Then you'll do the usual sign-up stuff, including what's called KYC, which is just them verifying you are who you say you are. Once that's done, you deposit some money, and boom, you're ready to place your order and buy some XRP.
All right, you've got the XRP. Now where do you put it? Well, you've got options. Leaving it on the exchange is easy, for sure, great for quick trades, but for holding it long-term, not the best idea. Here's the main takeaway. The #1 rule: for real security, you need to move it to a hardware or software wallet. That way you control the keys, not the exchange. It's your crypto after all.
Okay, so your XRP is bought and it's secure. Awesome. But what if I told you it doesn't just have to sit there? Yeah, you can actually put it to work. Let's dig into how you can earn some yield on what you're holding. Now, let's clear something up right away, because a lot of people get this wrong. You can't stake XRP directly on the blockchain itself. That's just not how it works. But what you can do is lend it out on what are called CeFi platforms. Think of them like crypto banks. Places like Binance or Nexo might offer you a return, maybe somewhere in that 5 to 8% APY range, for letting them use your XRP. But, and this is a big but, anytime you do that, you have to remember this one phrase: counterparty risk. Basically, it means you're trusting someone else with your money. You're hoping they stay in business and don't get hacked. It's a risk you absolutely have to understand and be comfortable with before you lend out even a single XRP. All right, let's switch gears to something really, really cool. This is where you get to be the creator. We're going to walk through step-by-step how you can mint your own NFT on the XRP ledger using a great platform called xrp.cafe.
So, why this specific place, xrp.cafe? Well, for one, it's a go-to marketplace for XRPL NFTs. It takes all those benefits of the ledger, the speed, the super low fees, and applies them to minting and trading. Plus, it has some killer features for creators, like royalties that are built right into the blockchain and even some anti-spam protection. It's a solid choice.
Getting started is all about prep work, and it's pretty simple. First, you'll need the right kind of wallet. Xamin is the big one. Second, you just connect that wallet to the xrp.cafe website. And third, get your artwork or file ready, along with all the details. The name, the story behind it, and how much you want to get in royalties.
And once all that prep is done, actually minting it is, well, it's the easiest part. You literally just click mint, approve the transaction in your wallet, and that's it. We're talking seconds. Thanks to the XRPL, it's finalized almost instantly, and you'll see your brand new NFT sitting right there in your wallet. It's an amazing feeling.
Oh, and a quick note for anyone thinking big, if you're planning a huge collection, like thousands of NFTs, just know that XRP.cafe has more powerful open source tools available. They can help you manage that whole bulk minting process without a headache.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So, to bring it all home, let's talk about strategy and safety. These are the things that'll make sure your journey from here is a good one.
Look, security has to be job number one. So make these your habits from the very start. Always have two-factor authentication on your exchange accounts. If you're holding for the long haul, get a hardware wallet, period. Keep a record of your transactions, because taxes are a thing. And just be aware that when you mint, a little bit of XRP gets locked up as a reserve. Know the rules.
And as for a strategy, my advice is to keep it simple, especially at first. Think about dollar cost averaging. That just means buying a little bit regularly instead of all at once. Figure out your own game plan. How much are you going to hold? How much will you lend, if any? And just stay curious. Keep up with what's new on the XRPL and with platforms like XRP.cafe. And that's it. From the absolute basics of the tech, to buying your first bit, to creating something totally new, you now have the complete roadmap.
So, we've gone through it all. You've got the tools, you've got the knowledge, the foundation is there. You know how fast the XRP ledger is, and you see the potential of creating on platforms like XRP.cafe. So I guess there's really only one question left. What are you going to create?